Here we have a SAT math question. There is an equation given over here. In the given equation, P is a constant. The sum of the solutions to the equation is 20 over 3. What is the value of P? Okay, in this equation on the left side, it is in factor form and it contains 3 factors. So the first one is a linear factor, and here the second one is quadratic and the third one is also quadratic. So the degree of this linear factor is just 1. That is the largest exponent of this one is 1. And here the largest exponent of x is 2, and here the largest exponent of this one is also 2. So if I solve this equation, I'll be getting 5 solutions. And sum of those 5 solutions is equal to 20 over 3, and we have to find the value of the constant P. Here the product of 3 expressions equals to 0. Whenever the product of 2 or more expressions equals to 0, the first one may be 0, or the second expression may be 0, or third expression may be 0, or all the 3 expressions may be 0. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to equate the first expression 3x positive p to 0 and solve for x. So then I'm getting 3x positive p equals to 0. Okay, now let's solve for x in this equation. Let me subtract p from both sides. Then positive p, negative p will cancel. I'm getting 3x equals to negative p. Now I divide both sides by 3. Then this 3 will cancel. I'm getting x equals to negative p over 3. Okay, I equated the first expression to 0 and solve for x. Now let me equate the second expression to 0 and solve for x. That is 5x square negative 45 equals to 0. Now let me add 45 to both sides. So then we get this negative 45, positive 45 will cancel. I'm getting 5x square equals to positive 45. Okay, now I divide both sides by 5. So when I do so, this 5 will cancel. 5 goes into 5 1 times, 5 goes into 45 9 times. Then I'm getting x square equals to 9. So now to get rid of the square, I'm just taking square root on both sides. Whenever I take square root on both sides of an equation, for one of the square roots, I have to consider positive or negative sign. I consider positive or negative sign for the square root we have on the right side. So the square root and square root cancel out. I'm getting x on the left side. On the right side, I'm getting positive or negative. The value of square root of 9 is 3. So then I'm getting x equals to positive 3 and negative 3. Actually, our aim is to get the sum of all the 5 solutions of the given equation. So already I got one of the solutions, and here we have 2 solutions. Since we need sum of the solutions, better we can add the 2 solutions we got from by equating the second expression to 0. So when I add these 2 solutions, that is 3, negative 3, I'm getting 3. Positive times negative will become negative 3 equals to 0. So the sum of these 2 solutions equals to 0. Okay, now let me equate the third expression to 0 and solve for x. That is 2x square negative 16x positive 6p equals to 0. So here the first term 2x square, the second term 16x, and the third term 6p. All of them have the greatest common divisor 2. So better we can divide the whole equation by 2. So when I do so, let me divide it. I just divide everything by 2. So this 2 will cancel. I'm getting x square. Negative 16 by 2 is 18. Negative 8x positive. When I divide this 6p by 2, I'm getting 3p. When I divide 0 by 2, I'm getting 0. Okay, now to solve for x in this quadratic equation, it's a little complicated because it contains an unknown constant p. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the formula to find some of the solutions of a quadratic equation. So what is it? Let's consider a quadratic equation in standard form. That is ax squared positive bx positive c equals to 0. So whenever we have a quadratic equation in standard form, there is a formula to get sum of the 2 solutions. Let me write over here. Sum of the 2 solutions equals to, the formula is negative b over a. That is, we have to take a negative sign and we have to consider the coefficient of x in numerator, and it has to be divided by the coefficient of x squared. So this will give you the sum of the 2 solutions or 2 values of x in this quadratic equation. So here this quadratic equation is in standard form, that is in the form of ax squared positive bx positive c equals to 0. So we can use this formula to get some of the solutions, because I don't want the 2 exact solutions of this equation. Since I need some of the solutions for this given equation, so for this quadratic equation also I need the sum of the 2 solutions. So then the sum of the 2 solutions equal to negative b over a. What is the value of b? So b is the coefficient of x, which is negative 8, and over a, the value of a is coefficient of x square. In this case it's 1. So negative times negative is positive. 8 over 1 is just 8. Okay, here we have one solution, that is negative p over 3, and here we have sum of the 2 solutions 0. Here we have sum of the 2 solutions 8. Now let me consider this information, that is sum of the solution to the given equation is 20 over 3. Let me write the stuff over here. Sum of the solutions equals to, let me write it, equals to 20 over 3. As I said earlier, we have 5 solutions for the given equation. So one solution from this linear factor and 2 solutions from this quadratic factor and 2 solutions from this quadratic factor. So sum of for those 5 solutions is equal to 20 over 3. Okay, I got the first solution over here, that is negative p over 3, and I got sum of the 2 solutions from the second factor, that is 0 over here. Let me write 0, and again I got some of the next 2 solutions from this quadratic expression over here, that is 8. So 8 equals to 20 over 3. So here in this expression we have sum of 5 solutions. So this is the first solution. In this 0 we have two solutions. That is the sum of 2 solutions equals to 0. And in this 8 also we have 2 solutions. The sum of 2 solutions is 8. Okay, now in this equation what I need to do is I have to solve for p. So for that I subtract 8 from both sides. So when I subtract 8 from both sides, is positive 8, negative 8 will cancel out. I'm getting negative p over 3 equals to 20 over 3 negative 8. Okay, now to solve for p in this equation, I have to get rid of the denominator 3 over here. For that, I multiply both sides of this equation by 3. Let me do it. So when I do so, this 3 will cancel out. I'm getting negative p equals to, now I can distribute this 3 to this one and this one. Then I'm getting 3 times 20 over 3. Negative 3 times 8 is 24. Then this 3 will cancel out. I'm getting negative p equals to 20 negative 24. Let me do it over here. Then negative p is equal to, when I simplify this one, I'm getting negative 4. So now to get rid of the negative sign over here, I have to multiply both sides by negative 1. Let me do it. So when I do so, this negative 1 times negative p will become positive p, because negative times negative is positive, and negative times negative will become positive. 1 times 4 is 4. I got the value of p. The value of p is 4.